it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. I'm here today with a journal that was the concept of one of my viewers who asked me to put together this journal. It was definitely a challenge. I love the concept, but I learned a lot from it. It challenged me in all sorts of ways, and I'm certainly presenting it to her with the option of, if it's not for you, that's okay. We learn, right? So I'm hoping it meets the kind of edict of what they're looking for. But if not, I'm okay because I have learned so many things. Why was it challenging? Well, it was just the construction. So she had asked for a post-bound journal, making note that most of the time when she sees post-bound journals that they typically just have like normal sketchbook paper in them rather than junk journal style pages that have tuck spots and pockets. I think I have learned why. I did multiple different kinds of post bindings and then had to come up with my very own, because usually you have a large section like this that has posts in it, then all the pages here will fold, but it just wouldn't have worked for something that you need enough space to put 8.5 by 11 paper in, which is another part of this. It would be a journal. It's to be a journal that's for storing things, as well as an art journal, a writing journal, and like a glue book kind of journal. So all of that in mind, it also had to have a practical magic style. So that means there's one book on either side. One is a little more inconspicuous, and also you turn it upside down, so that like one book, this is the right side up, the other side, this is the right side up. So those were kind of the construction details. The theme details were themes, which I always, this particular person comes up with the coolest ideas. Her themes are amazing. So it was like reclaimed by nature, abandonment, asylum, those kind of things. So like think of, mossy buildings out in the woods that have been left behind, or old cars that are, rusting in the woods, or that kind of thing, right? So this is my take and my methodology here with this book. So the entire book is very, very large. Let me grab a ruler here. So it is about a little over, maybe 10.25 inches by just about 12 inches. So it's a big book. And then the spine, all together, like both spines, it comes out to just about 3 inches. So here we go. So I'll start with the front side. So this book is, this is actually a vintage modern art book, this gray cloth. And then this woven fabric is my addition to it. I wanted it to be kind of like, I don't know, like a castle kind of color or theme. And I didn't want to make it too busy in case, the owner wants to put something on the front that's sort of a part of what the theme of the book might be. I left it a little bit up to that person. So you'll see the binding screws are here. There's one behind this piece of fabric, and then there's another one here. The one down here has a little extra hole at the bottom. It's a slot. And I learned in post binding, you should always do at least one slot, so that if you are changing signatures and your book needs a bit of wiggle room, like you see, like this, you can wiggle your signature out and have a little extra space in at least one of the screws to do that. So I've done that with this spine. So wrapped around the book is more of this woven fabric that will fray a little bit, but not a lot, which I really love. I love this little bit of fraying. And then on it, I stitched some of my rusted eco-printed cotton that's been mordant, and it just has this beautiful feel to it. It's like a metallic kind of mordant, so it gives it a really cool feel. So basically this book is bound with what is like a large belt that can be wrapped around the book, and it can be set aside when you're not using it. So side one. So we open up here. There we go. Okay, so on the cover on the inside we have this envelope. Lots going on. I won't explain everything. I'll just kind of flip through and not do a ton of talking, but you'll see here this flips up, and this is a tuck spot. Then down here is some beautiful, this was from a Mark Ryden art book. It is like a funerary style paper, a dark floral, very cool. And I left that alone, so it could be glued on, a pocket could be added, what have you. Then over here, this is black walnut dyed paper, Abandoned Houses Creek, as they've got no people to seek. On this side, we actually have, this is a little plastic bag with fabric at the top. The bag itself seals, so you can put something inside of it. It's like a specimen bag. And this is the dictionary pullout for asylum. And that is stitched onto this eco-printed paper. Then on this side, we have like a cabinet card kind of, or a cabinet kind of flip out. Now, this itself is a pocket up here to put something into. Then it flips out, and you can see that there's more of the cabinet here. Then wired through eyelets on here, we have 2 more pockets that are also like cabinet style pages from a Curiosa book. Both of these are pockets to put something into, and they're both wired on there. This side is very dramatic paper that I dyed. It's got rusty cogs and flowers. It's a heavyweight watercolor paper, so that flips in. Then we have, this is actually a lined page. I don't know if you can see, but I printed it on a lined page, and it's like a woodsy, a very brown woodsy scene. This is black walnut dyed paper also. So then we have one of these black Cavalier type covers. So this opens, and there's a pocket here, and you could tuck something in here if you want, or you could glue something behind it. So it's kind of like a folder. And this is black walnut dyed. No one shall know we are here, long lost in the twine and branches, souls left to creep on through dead twigs, guided by the last rays of the sun. This is a botanical page with kind of a flower sort of blowing away. It is also a pocket. So this is a full page pocket. More of that same page. And then we have a printed page that's like an old railroad running through the woods. This is black walnut dyed paper. This is a little tuck spot on some cabbage dyed paper. It says, "Penny found under the cushion of Sigmund Freud's couch, Maresfield Garden, London." And up here we have another tuck. Oops, this is a very old piece of paper I'm using. And it is a counterfeit bill. Then this is a black walnut dyed page that I have stitched real eucalyptus leaves to. You could, if you wanted, stick like little things in here, like little stamps that you collect, little tickets, little snippets. And I left the stitching visible here. This side we have this sort of castle type building with this amazing gargoyle. This is a full page pocket here. I need to get something else. That is a weak piece of paper. And then on this side we have the gargoyle as well. I loved the blackened eye on this one. This side is a page that is like old lead paint peeling off the wall, and a very old Emerson radio sitting on top of a wood cabinet in an abandoned house. Black walnut dyed paper. This is a gargoyle on an old castle style building. This is a tuck spot. These are some silk leaves. This says, "Wild air, world mothering air, nestling me everywhere, that teach eyelash or hair, girdles, goes home betwixt, the fleeciest, frailest fixed. Snowflake that's fairly mixed with riddles and is rife in every least thing's life. This needful, never spent, and nursing element." And that's from a late 1800s poetry book. This is another gargoyle that is just covered in moss. Black walnut dyed paper. The house remained standing on memory alone. And it's kind of like, the text is kind of blurry on purpose. And then we have this little folder here. So this folds out. It's just collage dyed paper. And you can see here, this is like an abandoned library with a globe and a tree growing in the middle. This is kind of a dream space to me. I think like this would be an incredible space. So this page actually folds out. I will move this book over for 1 minute here. So this page folds out this way. So you can see the full library. Hopefully the glare is not too bad. And on this side, we have another space that's similar to that, more like a study with a telescope and a beautiful window. And then this over here, we have, this is a flip out. And then there's a little pocket here that you could stick something in. Let me just move back over again. So see, you could stick something in there. More collage. These are some old stamps. This is an old library piece of paper for like a library book, lending library. And then some more collaging in here with different kind of industrial feeling papers. There's a pocket here. And that folds in. Then we have this, another page of that library kind of closer up. And then this is another secret little writing space with some dyed paper, and it's stamped up here as where. And then over here we fold out again for more collage. So it's kind of a fun little interactive part. Then this is, let me move back into frame here. Here we go. So this is like a circular staircase looking down a well, and there's tons of moss. It's like an abandoned castle. Then this is a house that's just completely covered in plants. It's an art painting or photography piece, sorry. And up here is a pocket. It's all been stitched around. You'll see I've cut out these here. So I will have to move the book around. But anyways, this is like a stamped and cut out leaf page on like a, this is like very tiny type. And this is a tuck spot. Then I will pull the book down so that you can see this. Whoops, these lights out of the way. So up here we have another pocket that actually is, let me just set this sideways here. Sorry, my desk is too tiny. So we have like a little kid in a green chair, and it's been, you know, turned into a bunch of pixelated triangles. So this flips open, avocado dyed paper here. This is a small tuck spot. This is a pocket. And then this envelope also you can put something in. So that just flips in, and we will return it from whence it came and go back into the center here again. Okay, so then on this page, let me just get where I was before here. This, and we are in frame. So this is some eco-printed rusted paper. It has a dictionary label of reclaim, the definition of reclaim. And then in here we have kind of an industrial looking, scary, you know, nighttime photo looking into this pod. And then there's some leaves here and some light bulbs. This is a pocket that flaps down. These are like little leafy tuck spots. And this is of a book and this says The Runaway. Just more ideas of like escaping and abandoning. And then these are like little tabs on this, which flips out. So in here we have really old book pages, and then this is like a see-through kind of pocket space. Then on this side we have another pocket here. And then this is a tuck spot. This says bad luck. This is a bit of green, just some green fiber stitched down, thinking about moss. And then on this side, we have a tip out, and it says old rotten branch fell. And then just some inking and old book page. This is black walnut dyed paper. It says, let nature inspire you to go out and explore the world between the cracks, the places people prefer to keep hidden, the hard evidence that we are not the gods of this world after all. And then this is an image of like an old rusty staircase and a very decrepit kind of brick and cement wall. And the paper has been black walnut dyed. This is like a fountain for a gargoyle, and it reflects. And then this part at the bottom is a tuck spot. And then just some really nice kind of mauve paper. This is some really grungy coffee dyed paper. And then this is like a big wood pile with some old book page behind it. The tab says Herbal Knowledge and Folklore. This is a pocket here. Then this folds open and we just have some very grungy collage here. It says Theatrum Botanicum. And then this is some real maple leaves that I foraged, and it is a tuck spot from here or even from the bottom. You could actually stick something right on through here like this, however you like. And then some black paper. This is black walnut and green dyed paper, and this is a pocket. And some matching collage on this side. This is some of the green dyed paper. And on the inside, it is logbook style paper. This is a photographic image of like the woods with a bunch of holes punched into it. And it is a tuck spot. And then up here behind it actually is another pocket. So the paper that it's on is also a pocket here. And this is just an old chapter label from an old book. This is an image of like an abandoned castle covered in moss. Black walnut dyed paper. This is some botanically dyed paper, very grungy, and there are 3 pages that fold out, all different here, just for extra writing space. And I should move over a little so that you can see them. There we go. Then on this side, more of that grungy paper. And some more dyed paper, black walnut dyed. And I used like a large leaf on this one to make this printing. And then we have a real leaf here that's been laminated underneath some acetate. And there's a little fabric on the edge there. This is black walnut dyed paper and a pocket. And then we just have this very stormy sky. And on this side we have some more gargoyles. This is a dyed ledger page. It is a pocket from the side, the whole thing, and that is a eucalyptus leaf that's been stitched on. More black walnut dyed leafy print paper. This says Moonshine Appalachia 1978, and it is a pocket. And on the back it has some old book page. A black page. This is more of that green log paper. It is a pocket. And then this is an amazing photographic like double spread. They use real Chinese lanterns as the lanterns. The boat, everything is made from like plant type material. It's really cool. And this side is also the log paper and is also a pocket. This is like an abandoned room on overexposed photograph paper that I black walnut dyed. This is like a little, just a little flippy with an old phone on it, and it's a pocket. This is just a black folder, and there is a little tuck spot there to put something in. And there's some fabric that is actually a hinge to this leafy dyed paper. And this is a belly band, and it says on it, an old roommate and friend of mine moved to Palm Springs and took a job as a letter carrier. One day he sent me a dried hummingbird in a small box. He delivered letters to lots of celebrities, and this particular hummingbird had crashed into Elizabeth Taylor's window. My friend picked it up and sent it to me with a note asking that I never disclose where I got it. Evidently, mail carriers are not supposed to pick up anything even off the ground, or they could lose their jobs. And this is that hummingbird. And this again is the hummingbird, and it's got a little eucalyptus leaf stitched to it, and it says hummingbird that was killed when it flew into Elizabeth Taylor's picture window, Palm Springs, 1988. This is a real leaf that's been stuck down. This is a flip up. It just has some blank writing space on the back. And this little book here is a pocket. This is more of the black walnut dyed paper that I've printed this interesting kind of abandoned office scene on. Then these are just interesting photographic papers, like photographs of these buildings that just seem to exist in the middle of nowhere with like a lot of snow and ice around them in the dark. And they're both pockets. This is also a side pocket, and it's kind of an overhead like drone type photo of an abandoned area. This is some amazing grungy coffee dyed paper. This is avocado dyed encyclopedia large scale paper, and this is a pocket here. It's like a stack of photographs with flowers on top. This is a tip out that has packaging paper on back, and on the front here we have this little it's an egg candling appliance. This is from like an old Canadian inventions book. Both of these have these really wild, beautiful trees on them. Hopefully you can see that okay with the glare. More packaging paper on that flip out. This is another pocket of the same style. It's like a stack of images. And then this says, often wonder why it's so easy for people to leave. Perhaps we should question why we wanted them to stay. And then we reach the end of this side of the book, more of this Mark Ryden book paper. So then we flip over, we have another spine here to this side of the book. Okay, so you'll see this fabric is solidly attached here all the way over here, but then on this side we have this brighter, kind of like the inside is a little bit brighter, this paper here, and this is a belly band, a fabric belly band. And then this side of the book, am I the right side up? Yes, no, I'm not. I'm sorry, I didn't turn it upside down. That's the other half of this, right, is it's got to be Practical Magic style. So the belly band is over here, and that makes sense because it's the lower of this setup. So then this book opens this direction. So I will just move like this so that it's hopefully all in frame. So this is just some nice green paper. It's a nice thick, feels very laboratory kind of paperish. This says mysterious things, and it's like a photograph that's been burnt. And in back we have this kind of an almanac paper about arthropods. This is a belly band, and the paper itself is actually a full page pocket. So over here, this is... yeah, okay, so this is laminated, and this is an abandoned roller coaster, and it says, have long given up on ever seeing again. And there's some old book page in here, and I've laminated in like some measuring tape, and so this is obviously a pocket, and you can see through anything you tuck in there. And this is just a page from a photography book of these old like bags, and the whole thing is another pocket. And there's some old writing here and some old photography. This little bit of silver paper. This is just a little tuck spot. The back is entirely silver and weathered, kind of crinkly paper. This is an old French book page. And then we have this cool photographic image of this guy like dragging this, what looks like a piece of cloth, but turns into a road through the woods. And it has a tab up here, and it's a pocket. And on this side, we have this kind of half torn apart house, and this is a tuck spot. Then this is called Icy Prospects by Jorma Purinen, and it's just a nice, like, you know, quiet water image. And on this side, we have like an abandoned house in the background, but the focus is on this branch with this really highly lit bit of food, or sorry, an apple. And I think it's a reference to like Eden a little bit. And then this is just some handmade paper that's really nice and has a lot of vegetable kind of matter in it, or flower matter, and some gold here and there. And then this is actually stitched on with eco-printed fabric. These are 2 coffee-dyed CD pockets that kind of come out. Then we just have some hidden writing space on packaging paper and this kind of rickety old branch in the winter time. So this is a pocket. And another pocket over here. And they float independent of the book. So over here we have a sparrow at the bottom, and then an old book page. And then on this side, this really cool photograph of all of these old office chairs kind of in a bridge going into this like red berried tree. And here we have a bunch of books all stacked up in this column in the middle of a lake. This is a stitched paper bag, and it's crinkly, and the top of it is a pocket, large pocket. This is some coffee dyed and blue sprayed parchment crinkly paper. And this is a dark old building, and you can see coffee dyed paper in the background and some green paper. So this is a belly band, and this is a tuck spot. And on the side, we have another pocket. And then there's a glossary page here that's actually another pocket. And this is just some old book page. And then this is some bricks here, and it says, "The human mind at best is a sort of song. The music of it runs away with the words, and even the words which pass for the names of things are but poor wild symbols for their unfathomed objects." So on this side we have, this is a fabric pocket, and I've glued on this clock that is a part of this image that goes up to this electrical socket here. And then there's a real slide that I've put there. And then this is also a pocket. And then on this side we have, this is a very old newspaper image of just kind of, you can see the cathedral at the back there, and some eco-printed paper. This tips out, and there is some kind of grungy writing space right there on lined paper, and then some eco-printed fabric tab on the top of this old beautiful elm tree, and that's a pocket. And then just more old book page writing space. Up here it says familiar or strange. This is cabbage dyed paper. This is a pocket, and it says, "Lingering thoughts can put strangeness upon the actual. A few square inches of map taken at random brings landscape alive, glimpses of antique renown." This is an old elm tree image. On this side, we have another pocket. And this is an old sort of silhouetted image, all dyed papers. This says some place name, which I thought was really funny. And this is the sense of place. This is a beautiful grungy coffee dyed paper. Then on this side, we have a few things happening. So this tips up. And it is also, so it has this little measuring tape at the bottom. It's green paper. This is a pocket. and it tips up. The back looks the same. This says Curiosa. It is actually from the cover of a book that I used for a lot of things in this book, and it flips up, and it's just packaging paper on the back, but underneath we have this this little sort of hidden animal skeleton that has yarn tied around the neck. So it just shows a little through this hole, and then this comes back down. Then this actually flips up and this tips out. So behind it we have more of the Curiosa kind of paper, and then this piece of fabric that's just a little girl in a bed with a teddy bear tucking her in, and it's a pocket. And it kind of, like, the reason I included it, I know if it seems out of character, I was just thinking about the remnants of things that get abandoned in old homes, and how once there was a life there and there were people there. And I think often when I see people go on these like journeys into abandoned homes and things, they often find children's toys and, you know, just little signs of that life that used to be there. So that's where my brain was on that one. Also, it's a really cool vintage embroidery. So this whole thing flips over. Then this, there are places, abandoned places, forgotten places. These are places I like to be. Black walnut dyed paper, more black walnut dyed paper. There's some book plating on it. Then this is cabbage dyed paper, and this whole thing is a pocket. And on this side you see these stacks of books that wrap around a tree and kind of run like rivers through the woods. And then this is some green log paper. On this side we have an image of some insects, and then down here kind of a dark sky with some snow and the image of someone kind of in the background with seagulls all around them. And then this is just some stamped natural paper pocket. Another pocket up top, and this is like a man kind of on a large ball rolling, and there's like fire everywhere. And this is just an old kind of lab page with lots of old cellophane tape on it. This is black walnut dyed paper. This says without a trace, and it's like an image looking into the woods. This is some really grungy coffee dyed paper. It flips out onto black paper. And on this side we have a tuck spot of more of the woods with the holes punched into it, and some old dyed lace. So that's a tuck spot. And some brown folder paper. And then this image, hopefully the glare is not too bad and you can see it, but it's like basically overexposed photography in the background. And then this is really dark parking garage style building, and this is a pocket. And then this up here is also a tuck spot. This side is just really grungy eco-printed paper, more of that green lab paper. And this one actually, it's folded over. It's like a printer's style of paper, so it's kind of like a spot that you could choose to tuck something into. You could also break the perforations at the bottom of these pages and use the inside for writing, but I thought I would leave them intact. And I absolutely love the greens that I got in this dyed paper. This is a reflected image on eco-printed paper, so it's like there was a leaf here. This paper was folded in half to get a reflected image. This is like an interesting scene, photography scene of like winter, and then in the center you can sort of see summer. And then in here, well, there's a little tab there, and in here is a tuck spot. So over here we just have this really cool image of like plants on both sides, and some like very interesting like old photography. And then here we have this interesting text. This is an eyelet, and this tips out, and over here we have a pocket, and then just more of that nice green paper. And on this side we have some birch bark that is stitched onto a technical drawing, and this is a tuck spot. And then some blue dyed ledger. at the very back. And then you'll see some eco-printed fabric and more of this gray woven fabric. I just left this as is because it's nice. It has a great texture to it. So that is the entirety of this large book. I enjoyed this book. I certainly took forever to complete it. I've been working on this book in all sorts of stints as I've been going along here in the background, and it took considerably longer than I expected that it would, because these kind of things, there's the construction challenges, but also I think they take some thought. They definitely take some consideration and some thought for who, you know, for who you're sending the book to and what they asked for, and how it all, you know, should translate. So yeah, it was a little bit my Waterloo for a while. I was kind of scared that I wouldn't be able to complete it for a while, but I'm happy with how it came out. And while I don't do custom journals very often, I do sometimes, and they always kind of come with the idea that, you know, if it's not right for you, you're not like committed. But you know, that's just me and how I feel about handmade things, that even when they're commissioned, I definitely try to do as much as what I can to create what someone is looking for. But for 2022, I am not doing custom work because I just have so many of my own projects that I need to finish. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and hopefully get myself to a place where I'm comfortable with getting all my projects done. So thank you very much for hanging out with me while I went through this large book, and hopefully you enjoyed this flip through. This is from the brilliant mind of one of my viewers, and I have done journals for her in the past and always loved what she comes up with, because I just think she has a beautiful mind. So yeah, anyhow, thanks everyone so much. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do. I would love to have you here. So have a lovely day, and bye for now.